I always hear this argument about have to have physical silver. You can't have any kind of electronic funds because they're going to all go up in smoke. Paper's all going to go away. But there's something else I always think about too. You think silver, physical silver, actually produces something? No, it does not. It's actually people. And the middle class was not a bunch of professionals that are strictly finance, accounting, lawyers, medical people. They were basically skilled laborers, people that know how to do construction, know how to build things, know how to repair things, know mechanical work, know how to farm, know how to work on the electric lines, the roadways, the bridges, everything, piping, everything, underground, mining. Those were actually the middle class. They had to use a combination of physical skills and mental skills, and unfortunately, those are the people almost like put down. So you wonder what happened to the middle class. I saw this little post here, and I was just kind of looking for something versus physical labor versus mental labor. Who works harder? Now, I'm primarily in the mental labor camp, but I always keep one foot in the other side too. I like doing mechanical work, construction work, and I kind of do it on this. I realize that some of the people that get into that type of stuff actually are very smart. There's a lot of engineering that goes into all those types of aspects, even though you might be doing something physically to repair something or build something. But looking at this little vote here, 28 votes. This is back a while ago, but most said they work equally as hard. But as far as the mental labor being harder than the physical labor, it was one vote. Now, I think there's a whole big class that's been created with just strictly mental labor over bureaucracy, total bureaucracy. I can understand where you have to have organization and planning and coordination and scheduling. That requires mental labor. In other words, you have to have a plan, you have to coordinate everything, time everything, categorize everything, look at all the costs. And a lot of times that's one thing I really liked with accounting, was when you're actually working on an actual project, whether it be in construction or manufacturing, you're actually putting out something that people need. I want to go into something too. This is kind of like a general thing, but it just kind of tells you physical silver is not the answer. And once you know physical silver is part of the answer, that's all you got to know, right? There's nothing else to it. In Rome, like one thing that happened when the Roman Empire collapsed, there was a whole bunch of people that were, highly skilled in prose, poetry. They could recite all the Greek poems. They knew all this garbage, And when the barbarians took over, they were like useless. What they valued was the people that could, the blacksmiths, the people that could repair things, build, the stonemason, that type of stuff. And actually, that is the middle class. That's the middle class. I got a strong dislike for a lot of professional people, even though I'm in that camp, more or less. And I find most of them to be snake oil. And to tell you the truth, I find a lot of religious people to be snake oil, because being familiar with the accounting and IRS laws for non-profit, there's people like Mother Teresa that go into places that are extreme hardship and they work with the poor. But then there's a lot of, it's generally not the case. Religion basically is a major racket. And I'm surprised a lot of people support a lot of that garbage. I don't, not at all. I will not. But I think most people aren't familiar with the perks the pastor's salary, that type of stuff. And the number of ways you could take cash contributions and, I didn't have any cash contributions. That's what they'll tell you, right? They'll tell you they didn't have any cash contributions. Everything was a credit card. Everything. Yeah. And they're going around in this thing, this big, like, luxury Winnebago thing or something, going around the country preaching to everybody. It's a bunch of garbage. It's a racket. And there's loads of that stuff going on. And, I find that type of person and a lot of the snake oil in the mental laborers, and I can't knock this completely because there is a need for it, but we are definitely far more excessive on this garbage than we are on skilled laborers. And you talk about the disappearing middle class. The middle class was not this type of labor, manual labor, low class, well, I don't want to call it low class, but unskilled labor. It was skilled labor, the type of people that knew trades. And there's a hell of a lot less of them around today. That's the problem in a nutshell. You got a lot of people that are basically bureaucrats that fit into this mental laborer garbage, and they're doing nothing but keeping things organized for the U.S. government and not actually producing something that's needed by people. So I guess my point is, it's not just physical silver, it's physical skilled labor too. Actually, that's more important than physical silver. And I'm kind of driving at something because I'm kind of getting sick of hearing about this physical silver garbage. That's one line and then you learn the whole story, right? But really the whole freaking story really is with the economy. It's not the silver itself. It's that people lack skills. They got away from this garbage and they got into a bunch of, they got tied down with a lot of bureaucratic red tape from the government. It isn't even just about the Federal Reserve. It's the bureaucracy. And, the only thing I could say about that, bypass every damn thing there is. Just do it. I do. That's just the way to do it.